Good morning. We are ready to begin. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the Fine and Performing Arts Center and to this very special gathering. I can sense that there is a great deal of excitement, and I think that you will all be delighted when you meet and talk to the President-elect, a delightful person, and we are looking forward to having the chance to meet and greet. My task this morning is to introduce the chairman of the board, James T. Brady. The board is the Board of Regents for the University System of Maryland, of which Bowie State University is a part. That board consists of some 17 members, citizens from around the state primarily, who give unselfishly of their time and their talent for the betterment of higher education as part of the University System of Maryland in this state. James Brady, is the chairman of the board, has been very active over the course of his lifetime in the corporate world as well as in civic affairs. I'm not going to read all of his bio here, but just want to give you a flavor of the man that he is. He currently serves as a member of the board of directors at Dunbar Armored, Inc. He's a former director of T. Rowe Price Group, Inc. and Constellation Energy Group, Inc., as well as McCormick and Company. From May 1995 through April 1998, Mr. Brady served as the Secretary of Maryland's Department of Business and Economic Development. Prior to his service as Secretary, he was employed by Arthur Andersen LLP, which is an international accounting and consulting firm, and he worked for them for 33 years, and in the last 17 years, he was a managing partner. He serves on the boards of several other organizations, civic organizations principally, and so obviously he is a man who is very much involved and engaged in his communities. I have come to know him since his appointment to the board, and he impresses me as one who appreciates the diversity that characterizes the University System of Maryland. He appreciates the role of the various institutions that comprise that system. And I think often of one instance that tells, I think, who he is. And that was during a board meeting where there was a discussion, and some of the provosts had been asked to talk about the challenges that those institutions faced with regards to the recruitment of faculty and the retention of faculty and the challenges. And we heard from, I think, the provost at the University of Maryland College Park and the provost at either UMBC or Towson, and then the board seemed to be ready to move on. And Mr. Brady said, well, wait a minute, we need to hear from some of the other institutions. What about Bowie? And called up Dr. Jackson at that point to provide Bowie State University's perspective. What Mr. Brady has done consistently from my vantage point is to recognize the value of diversity that we have in the system and the importance that all of the constituent institutions serve in providing higher educational opportunities for citizens of the state of Maryland. So without further ado, I'm delighted to welcome the chairman of the board, Mr. James T. Brady.
Mickey, thanks for that wonderful introduction. If my mother were still with us, she would have loved every minute of it. On my wife's side, she would have said, "Who are they talking about?" But that's But Mickey, thank you so much for all of that. This is a great day for a lot of different reasons. First of all, it is a beautiful day to be celebrating the transition in leadership, which is so important in our society in whatever piece of it we look at. In this case, we have a retiring president in Mickey Burnham, who for 11 years has led this institution with energy, class, and distinction. And we will be celebrating Mickey's tenure for a very long time over the next several months. Actually, there are a number of events planned. And at the same time, we are welcoming a new president to this campus, and a very special campus that it is. Aminta Breaux brings a wonderful background, rich in so many of the things that are critical to higher education, and brings an energy and an enthusiasm, and I would say the same class that Mickey has brought to this institution for the 11 years that he's been here. It is a very special time for the campus. This is a campus with potential that is off the charts, in my opinion. It is a great campus from a physical standpoint. You could not be located in a better place at this point in time, and you have a burgeoning academic reputation that is very, very special. So this is a great time for Bowie. There are a number of people to thank connected with all of this, and as you all know, I'm sure, there was a search committee that was put together to find Mickey's successor. And that search committee was made up of a broad array of people connected with the community and this institution. And in my opinion, they did a phenomenal job. They worked very hard, came to the Board of Regents with candidates that were stellar, and we ended up picking Aminta as I'm going to invent a word now, the stellarist of all. And I ask you all to write that down. That is a new word. And with that committee was chaired by Linda Gooden, one of my fellow regents. And Linda was absolutely terrific. She could not be here today, but she sends her best. And no one is more interested to see how all of this plays out than Linda. It is now my pleasure to introduce the Chancellor, Bob Corrett. Bob brings leadership to this whole system. He has been very involved in this whole process of selecting a new president. And so without further ado, let me introduce Bob Corrett, Chancellor of the University System of Maryland.
Good morning, everyone. Exciting times for a campus. Let me join with Jim first and thank the search committee. There's an awful lot of work that goes into a search like this, and part of it is hard work. You know, part of it is luck, because when you have 100+ applicants and you try to pick 10 or 12 of them that you're going to take a serious look at, it takes a little bit of luck not to lose the right person, because you're just looking at them on paper, yet you don't have time to interview 100 of them face to face. And then there's a little bit of magic involved in getting the right person in front of the committee. That a person, as I like to say, once you get in front of the committee, can sell themselves as the right person, with the right chemistry at this moment in time. And so I really appreciate all of the work that the committee, and particularly the chair of the committee, Linda Gooden, did to get us to this point today. I also want to point out we have two of the regents with us in the audience, Deanna Johnson, if we want to rise up, and Barry Gossett. We appreciate you being here with us. Chairman Brady, I think, has indicated a couple of the key points. I've been in and out of the system for 42 years, so I've seen this system evolve from when it was just 6 state universities into this 12 vibrant new university system of Maryland, and I've seen and have probably known, I guess, the last 4 presidents at Bowie State University pretty well, and really feel that the board today, more so than ever, is poised to help Bowie grow and become a really vibrant, comprehensive institution serving primarily the region, which is what comprehensive universities do, but statewide and nationally in many ways also. So we're very excited about the future for Bowie. And Jim mentioned a number of things. Location, some of them are things like program mix, location here in not only because of transportation, but because of the population here in Prince George's County. Just an exciting time for Bowie State University. Bowie, as with many of the what we call regional campuses, comprehensive campuses, interactive campuses, we have a whole series of adjectives to help describe ourselves, is a critical anchor institution for this region. It's an institution that can provide not only the educational access that is needed by so many of the citizens, but is also heavily involved in the economic churn of the area through jobs and through business development, is involved in the social and cultural efforts, and this beautiful facility provides a core for that in this region. There's a whole series of roles that anchor institutions provide, and places that don't have anchor institutions want them. The reasons the University at Shady Grove exists in Montgomery County is that there was no four-year university there, and they wanted an anchor institution, and we created the Universities at Shady Grove. Bowie is the anchor institution in so many ways for this region, and will continue to play that role. You know, I've known Mickey for a lot of years. We go back a long time ago when we met at a national organization, and I've seen him evolve not only in North Carolina but here in Maryland as a true leader, and he has really provided a foundation from which this campus can grow. Part of it is the secular side, I like to say, the sort of physical entity of the campus itself, this building, the new student center, and the soon-to-open science technology facility, all of which have helped transform the campus itself in so many ways. When you see growth on a campus from a physical structure, it gives you energy, it gives you vibrancy about the future of a campus, and it helps you so much with the enrollment, with the retention, with the graduation of your students to have an environment in which they can thrive. He's also, and obviously this is a team effort, and Mickey would be the first to say this, with the entire team at this campus has created some very strong niche areas to develop. Particularly in the IT arena is the one I tout the most, where you have the doctoral program in information technology, you have the bachelor's program in bioinformatics, you have the RX-5 training program in partnership with UMBC, providing certificates to cyber warriors for the future. A whole series of things that are the more spiritual side of what we do, the educational side of what we do. And I've been working with Mickey as we've looked at the future of Bowie in terms of what those programs should be going forward. Should we expand the ones that are here? Can we add new tracks? Can we add new programs? What are the programs that will help this campus grow? So the campus is in great shape. Like every campus, there are many things it still needs to do. But if you look back a few years, 10 or 11, let's say, and look at where we've come into 10 or 11, you've got to say it's a better place than it was, and that's all we can ask of any leader, is make the place better than it was. And what we want to do now is continue that process and move the campus forward even further under our new president. Dr. Aminta Breaux has, through the hard work, luck, and magic of the search committee, risen to the top of the pool of candidates. One of the things I do to get to know the candidates just a little better is I usually, because I've been doing this for so long and I'm at that appropriate vintage in life, that I usually know somebody that they've worked with, so I usually call that person and get the inside dope. But I also have breakfast, lunch, coffee, dinner with them. I spend an hour and a half, or 2 hours with them to get the sense of the person themselves and how they interact, and what their style is and what their priorities are. And I'm always excited at that stage, because we usually have 3 or 4 candidates, all of whom could be the next president. But you hope that one of them pops out of the list as the one that just makes the most sense at that point. And Aminta absolutely did that during this search. She's coming to us from Millersville University in Pennsylvania, part of the Pennsylvania State University higher ed system, so she has worked in systems. She served as Vice President for Student Affairs from 2008 to 2014, and most recently as Vice President for Advancement since 2014, so about almost 3 years in the VP of Advancement role. Before that, she was at the University of the Sciences in Philadelphia, where she serves as Dean of Students, and before that was Assistant Provost at Drexel University. So a broad range of background, academics, student affairs, advancement, a nice mix of experiences, and a long list of leadership efforts that she's been involved with in those three campuses. She's been involved in strategic planning, enrollment management, capital planning, budget management, student affairs, academic affairs, external relations, alumni engagement, and others, and has even had a little bit of a taste of athletics in that process. We talked this morning at breakfast. Throughout her 26-year career, Dr. Breaux has worked to cultivate a collaborative leadership style, which we think is important at our institutions. We believe she has all of the skills that she needs to hit the ground running. I told her this morning that, this is probably the most exciting and fun part of the presidency this next couple of months. That doesn't mean there won't be some fun parts after that, but in a whole, this is the funnest part. And so I told her to enjoy it as she meets all of you and becomes part of this campus and helps this campus move forward. As we like to say at this moment, we have found the right leader at the right time for the right institution. It gives me great pleasure to introduce you to the new president as of July 1 of Bowie State University, Aminta Breaux.
Thank you so very much. Wow, what a welcome. I am so thrilled to be here today. I cannot tell you, words cannot describe. Since the day that the announcement came out that I would be the next president at Bowie State University, I have received the most wonderful messages and emails, text messages from the campus and from this community. And I'm overwhelmed by the warm welcome that I have received from so many of you. Thank you very much for welcoming me to this campus even before I stepped foot on this campus. And so I already feel that I'm part of the Bowie State University community. Thank you so much for that. I'm very proud, and I'm sure you can tell, excited to be your next president. Today I see as a beginning of a new journey. And as we begin this journey together as a community, I want to first thank the members of the Presidential Search Committee, myself, along with the Chancellor, the Board of Regents, for bestowing upon me your trust and the honor and privilege of becoming the 10th president of Bowie State University. Thank you so very much. Thank you to everyone who was part of the process. Bowie State University, I'm looking forward to getting around the campus today and in the months to come and getting to know each and every one of you. It's going to take me a little while to get around the campus, so I won't be able to do it all today, but trust me, I will make my way around, and I do want to hear about you and your stories and what Bowie State University means to you. To the current president, Dr. Burnham, I say thank you for your leadership over these last 11 years, for the ways that you have given of yourself and the dedication you have shown to Bowie State University. Congratulations on your many accomplishments that you have done on behalf of Bowie State University. Thank you so much. And President Burnham, I wish for you the very best in your retirement, and I hope that you will leave a number nearby so when I have a moment, we can just touch base from time to time. That's all I'm saying. Okay. To the students, faculty, staff, and administrators, alumni, friends of the university, from this point forward, I will apply my skills and abilities to build on the legacy and the rich history of Bowie State University as the first historically Black institution of higher learning in the state of Maryland. For any new leader, there are always, I'm sure, the usual questions you have out there. Questions about, well, what do you have to offer to us to make a difference? How will you advance the mission of the institution? And what's your vision? Well, today I hope to share a little bit with you, but again, there's a lot more to come in the days ahead. What I can tell you is that each day I will be part of this team, striving to have a positive impact on the campus and our community, and I will work tirelessly to advance the mission of Bowie State University and to ensure that our students have every opportunity to succeed. What I bring to the position, as you've heard earlier from the Chancellor, is a diverse set of experiences and skills, having held leadership positions at 4 different universities, both public and private, and you've heard a little bit already about my credentials. However, let me just say, I need to back up a little bit for you and start from the beginning. West Philadelphia, born and raised. I'm not going to ask you to sing the song, but I know you know the song. Okay. I'm a product of public schools. I graduated from a public high school, spent 1 year at Lincoln University before, yes, I'll give it up for Lincoln. I then did transfer to Temple University to dual major in what else but dance and psychology. That's a story for another time. We'll talk about that. I went on to get my master's degree in psychological services and education from the University of Pennsylvania, and then I went back to Temple for my doctoral degree in counseling psychology. I began my career at the University of Pennsylvania. I was there for 10 years before going all the way across the street to Drexel University. I was there for another 10 years before going on the other side of the pen to the University of the Sciences in Philadelphia, known as the Philadelphia College of Pharmacy and Science, the first college of pharmacy and science in the country. And then I went on to Millersville University because I ran out of all the West Philadelphia schools. I had to keep going further west to Lancaster County out in Pennsylvania. I am the proud mother of 3 and a proud grandmother of 3. Grandmothers, grandparents in the house. But again, what you most need to know is that I am passionate about ensuring student success. I've built my career around ensuring that students have what they need to succeed and making sure that those coming behind me have the kind of opportunities I was afforded. I'm passionate about public education and making sure that access and affordability to quality higher education remains part of the fabric of our communities. As the founder of the Children's Defense Fund, Marian Wright Edelman, once said, "Education is for improving the lives of others and for leaving your community and the world better than you found it." And I truly take that to heart. But as we all know, no one does anything on their own. And so I look forward to working with the Board of Regents, Chancellor Corrett, the partners and friends of the university, to strategically advance public higher education for the public good in the state of Maryland. I see a very bright future ahead for Bowie State University because we are building on strength and excellence in our academic programs, our history, our outstanding faculty, students, alumni, and the community. But it's going to take each and every one of us working as a team together, doing what we can to make us stronger together. And I want you to know that I fully embrace shared governance for our future success, that all-important bedrock of higher education and the work that lies ahead for us as a campus community. For those of you who may have read recently Thomas Friedman's new book, Thank You for Being Late. Anyone in the audience reading that? It's a great read. It's an optimist's guide to thriving in the age of accelerations. While not specifically talking about shared governance, Thomas Friedman spoke to the concept when discussing organizations and how effective organizations function. What he said is, if you want to solve a big problem, you need to go for taking credit to sharing credit, to multiplying credit. The systems that all work, they multiply credit. Multiplying credit is just another way of making everyone feel a part of the system, feeling a part of that ownership in that system. And the byproduct, as he goes on to say, is resilience and propulsion. Over the course of the next few months, I will be meeting with groups across the campus to discuss shared governance and listening to your ideas and your thoughts about how we can work together to achieve the mission and propel us forward. And I'm going to listen to how you think we together can remain resilient in the face of these changing times. We have much to do on behalf of our students, and they deserve it, but we need to work together. And I'm looking to the future, and the future, again, I see as bright. As I look around this campus, there are so many examples of excellence. There's the outstanding innovative research, teaching, and scholarly activities that demonstrate excellence in education, such as Dr. Hoda Al-Sayed, professor in the Department of Computer Science, who was recognized recently by the Board of Regents and received an award for excellence in innovation after having served as a principal investigator on a Department of Defense grant to acquire a Cray supercomputer. And then there's Dr. Kameta Hairston, professor of the Department of Teaching, Learning, and Professional Development, who was recognized with an award for her teaching excellence. And then we have the EI2 program for research that's underway and looking at how we bridge the classrooms into the workplace and the community. And there are countless examples among the faculty across this campus. And then among the students, I haven't gotten to know some of these stories firsthand. I've been researching and reading and hearing so many wonderful things about what the students are doing, such as E.J. Gonzalez, who studied in the visual and performing and communications and digital media program and then went on to work for the WNBA Atlanta Dream. And Sierra Campbell, who was a major in communications with a concentration in broadcast journalism, who aspired to go into film production and was balancing all of those responsibilities in her major while also serving as an ROTC cadet. And then most recently, among the many calls and well wishes I received, I heard from a very special young lady, a woman who will be graduating on May 23rd, Donna Barito, who is one of the individuals who will be graduating with her doctoral degree on May 23rd. And by coincidence, we can give her a round of applause. She called me and was so excited to tell me about her study, which by coincidence is on the lived experiences of women of color at historically black colleges and universities. How's that? It was so amazing to hear her enthusiasm. And when she invited me to attend her luncheon celebration, there's no way I could have said no. And so I'm looking forward, Donna, if you're out here today, I'm looking forward to that luncheon and having a great celebration with you as you celebrate your doctoral degree. Her thirst for excellence and knowledge is truly amazing. And as she described that journey, I have to imagine I need to multiply that around here in terms of the journey that our students are on and that we need to support as they go about seeking their aspirations. And there are signs of excellence as I look around the campus and hear about our Bulldogs. Wow, the athletic program is amazing to have achieved 20 CIAA championships since 1989. That deserves a round of applause. And if anyone in here is on the bowling team, you're going to be among one of the first groups I get to meet because I've heard so much about you and about your 7 titles since 2005. That deserves a round of applause. But, you know, it's not just on the courts and the fields and in the classrooms and the labs that I get that sense of spirit and pride at Bowie State University. It is truly evident as you just drive around the campus, as my husband and I did just about 2 weeks ago. We just decided to take a long drive down from Lancaster. It wasn't that long, actually, a little over 2 hours. Got down here, it was a nice day, the sun was out, and we just decided to just get to know the area, get to know the campus more. And no one was expecting us, so we were driving around, and as we drove around the campus, a few individuals from facilities, from the facility staff recognized us. I saw a double take, one of those. But they greeted me so warmly, the waves were going, and yes. It was great. Thank you, guys. Thank you, facility staff. That was wonderful. You were the first group I saw as we came onto the campus, and I really enjoyed those warm waves. But then as we drove around the campus, we encountered students who were cleaning up the campus. They had trash bags in hand. It was a Sunday morning. I won't ask what happened that brought about all the trash. That's a story for another time, too. I will leave it at that. But there are just so many signs of excellence around here where people take pride, individuals, the faculty, staff, and students take pride in what you're doing. And that's what I want to be a part of. And when I scan this region and see companies and businesses that are looking to universities to ensure a talented workforce, I see opportunity for partnerships and collaboration toward ensuring economic vitality for this region, while also advancing our educational mission. There's great opportunity to grow the endowment, building on the success of the $15 million campaign. How wonderful to have surpassed the $15 million fundraising goal. That truly deserves a round of applause. But as an advancement person, I have to say that the next line, and anyone in fundraising knows, we can't stop there. We got to keep that momentum going because there is still need among our students. There is still need to have the resources that we need to continue the excellence that is here. And as president, I will advocate for supports necessary for Bowie State University to operate. There is opportunity to garner and advocate for the resources needed to support the academic mission, promote the success and history of the university, and to support the development and growth of distinctive and niche academic programs. With the Board of Regents, in concert with the Chancellor, and focused with a strong leadership team, I am very optimistic that Bowie State University will continue to demonstrate the value for supporting public higher education. But as competition for students intensifies, I still am very, very optimistic when I look at the increased enrollment of the first-year students for Bowie State. I am optimistic that we will continue to grow the enrollment. But let's make sure we don't take our eye off the goal. And the goal isn't just to enroll students here. The goal is to get students through, to retain them, and to graduate them. Today, higher education is facing many shifts, and I think we all know that. You can pick up the paper and read about all that's happening with the landscape that we're in for higher education. The global economy, demographics, funding of public higher education, and exponential advances to technology, there are changes and challenges at every turn. And this can threaten the very core of our universities. To move forward in this ever-changing landscape, what we need to do is, again, come together to transform, innovate, and reinvent how we approach higher education. I'm not one who believes that in serendipity. I believe we are here today because of a common purpose. We are here at this moment to ensure the future of this amazing university, that has provided outstanding quality education for more than 150 years. And we're here to make sure that it continues, and that every student who desires to pursue higher education will have access to a quality educational experience, both today and for tomorrow. And as we all know, when our students succeed, our communities are going to succeed. There's an ancient Greek philosopher by the name of Plutarch who once said, "It is indeed a desirable thing to be well descended, but glory belongs to our ancestors." As we stand here to celebrate what will be, I ask that you take a moment, just take a moment out today and right now to reflect and remember how we got here. For the wise words spoken those many centuries ago give meaning to today's events and for our future. It is because of those who have gone before us that we are able to stand here today in this beautiful building, on this beautiful campus, among some of the most outstanding students, faculty, and dedicated staff. And so we owe much to the leaders of Bowie State University, leaders such as Principal Goodlow, and the first to lead this institution onto this site, and President Henry, who shepherded the evolution from a small teacher training school to a liberal arts college, and then more recent leaders like President Myers, Lyons Lowe, and President Burnham. You have worked tirelessly to find a way to ensure opportunity for many generations of students. And I have to imagine, as those leaders traverse the landscape of higher ed that they were going through, that they had their moments when they thought there was no way to move forward through the ups and downs of social, political, economic change challenges that were happening in this country. But you know, they found a way to sustain the viability of this very special university. And so we owe it to them and to the many faculty, staff who have gone on before us that have traveled this campus, a deep devotion and gratitude. And we owe it to them to make sure that we do everything we can to guarantee that future generations will have the same access to quality education for the next 150 years. As I travel across the campus in the days and months to come, I will be listening to you. I will be talking with you, and I want to hear your voices. I truly want to hear you and your opinions, your ideas and thoughts. I would love to stand here and say I have all the answers, but I'm looking to you to be part of the team with me as we look to the future. My vision for Bowie State University is to build on strength and excellence together as a community of learners, to preserve the lasting legacy of Bowie State University as the first historically Black university in the state of Maryland, to continue to build academic excellence, to create curricular and co-curricular opportunities supportive and engaging of 21st generation of learners, and to encourage and support diversity of learners enrolled at Bowie State University. I'm looking forward to creating new partnerships in our local and global communities, to develop new and distinctive and niche programs that uniquely define Bowie State University, and to demonstrate fiscally sound models, metrics, and accountability measures so that we can demonstrate to our internal audience and communicate to our internal audience and external stakeholders in public higher education the value that we bring to our communities. And then finally, to promote the value of the quality educational experience provided by Bowie State University faculty, staff, and administrators. And so this is where we begin, Bowie State. I ask that you join me and let's race forward to the future, because I do see a bright future. And notice I didn't say let's walk to the future. I said that intentionally. Let's race to the future, because it is bright. There are a great many opportunities that lie ahead. And I don't believe in just sauntering along. I want to race forward because I see a bright future ahead for us all. But I'm looking forward to being part of the team and one community focused on the goal of student success and our commitment to public education and public education for the public good. And I want to thank you again for welcoming this Philly girl to Bowie State University, and I'm looking forward to being your next president. Thank you so very much.
It is now my pleasure to call to the podium Miss Bowie State University for 2016-2017, Miss Sheila Matthews.
Good morning, faculty, staff, students, President Burnham, First Lady Burnham, and last but certainly not least, a special Bulldog welcome to Dr. Breaux, our 10th University President. I am Sheila Matthews, and I'm humbled and honored to serve as the 70th Miss Bowie State University for the 2016-2017 academic year. Welcome to a university that has celebrated and cultivated Black excellence for 152 years. Founded on the corner of Saratoga Street in Baltimore, Maryland, Bowie Normal School was opened as a school for future African American educators. Following on the path forged by those who came before us, Bowie State University continues to educate young African Americans and ensure that they find strength and take pride in being a product of the first and the oldest historically Black college and university in the state of Maryland.
So on behalf of our Bulldog family and the Student Government Association, Dr. Breaux, we'd like to welcome you to our loving, caring, and dedicated Bulldog family. Congratulations. Talk to you.
Thank you. You may have noticed that Miss Bowie State University was escorted by Mr. Bowie State University. My notes didn't tell me that he was going to accompany her. If you would join me just one more moment. When I had the distinct privilege and high honor of being selected to serve as the 9th president of Bowie State University, at my introductory gathering at the campus, the outgoing president presented me with a special lapel pin, which I have treasured. In fact, I don't think I've ever worn it. It's been so highly valued. But I want to pass it on to you in this symbolic way. I think it's So thank you all for being here this morning. Thank you, Miss Bowie State University, Mr. Bowie State University. Dr. Breaux, congratulations. You will enjoy this university. It is one of the finest public comprehensive universities in America. And I know that under your leadership, it will move towards becoming the very best public comprehensive university in America. I invite all of you to greet Dr. Breaux in the lobby immediately following this gathering, and ask that you would remain seated for a few moments to give her a chance to exit and to get in place out there. Thank you very much for being here this morning.